Welcome to Tzu Chi This Week. I'm Wendy Chen. It's good to have you with us. In this week's headlines, we join Tzu Chi volunteers in Sao Paulo, Brazil, as they hold a tea party to promote the Buddhist NGO's philosophy. In the United States, Tzu Chi volunteers and Tzu Chi Academy teachers are sharing their experiences at a recent training seminar held in New Jersey. And we learn about the life story of the late Jing Yizhen, a leprosy patient who was inspired by Master Zheng Yan to see life in a positive way. We begin today's program in Sao Paulo, Brazil, the world's 7th largest city. It is said that approximately 30% of the population are immigrants, of which 250,000 are from Asia. To promote Tzu Chi's philosophy to both locals and the Chinese community, Tzu Chi volunteers organized a tea party with help from the US counterparts, where they share the humanitarian spirits of the Buddhist NGO. It is a scene of hustle and bustle here at the newly established Tzu Chi chapter in Brazil's Sao Paulo, as volunteers are busy welcoming their guests for the opening ceremony. Apart from the volunteers, many local residents arrive to take part and show their support for the Buddhist NGO.
I've been a part of Tzu Chi for 14 years. The volunteers are all very kind. I like them. The activity was well organized.
Faço parte da associação Tzu Chi.
I've been volunteering in Tzu Chi for 16 years. I'm very patient, and I can even speak a little Mandarin now.
Today, through a seminar on conservation work, we're able to put these ideals into practice. Through Sister Tzu Hui's explanation, we get an idea of how to promote environmentalism in Brazil.
每个袋子都有顾命哦，这个袋子是4支保特瓶做出来的。
这一次的环保讲座很明。
It is obvious that today's seminar on environmentalism was a huge step forward. Everyone was thinking about how to safeguard our planet. These two local volunteers, despite not speaking a word of Mandarin, managed to put on a great sign language performance. This is truly moving. This shows a sense of respect and compassion for Mother Nature.
Putting on a sign language performance that deeply moves their audience, Tzu Chi volunteers vow to continue to promote the organization's work and spread the seeds of great love. Also in Brazil, we join Tzu Chi volunteers and team of medical staff as they hold a free clinic in Franco de Rocha to provide medical treatments to underprivileged families. Apart from the free clinic, volunteers also carried out home visitations into villages not far from Sao Paulo to bring relief items and emotional support to care recipients. For Tzu Chi volunteers who are visiting these villages situated along the hills near Sao Paulo, Brazil, they must first reverse their vehicles in the narrow driveways to get in. Wherever they can't reach by car, the volunteers will walk. Despite the bumpy road, Brazil Tzu Chi volunteers regularly visit their care recipient in Francisco Morato. Apart from bringing food and subsidies, volunteers also provide emotional support and necessary assistance when needed.
This wheelchair is for my daughter. Though the government provides subsidies for the disabled, we're still struggling to make ends meet. My daughter needs diapers. Thank you so much. These diapers will last us for a long time.
Maria, whose husband and son passed away one after another, always looks forward to these visits from the volunteers, as it gives her the strength and support to go on.
Thank you so much for coming to visit me. I was feeling so hopeless. Thank you for your help.
A week after the home visitation at Francisco Morato, 150 volunteers and medical staff came together to carry out a free clinic in Franco de Rocha. The free clinic covered medical services from 13 departments and in total provided some 300 treatments to residents. While at Franco de Rocha, volunteers who were accompanied by a local teacher surveyed the area to see if they can provide any assistance.
These houses are built illegally, so the government is planning to reconstruct this area. If not, residents ones living here have no water or drainage pipes. It is really inconvenient.
Carefully taking note of every family's living condition, volunteers go door to door to visit underprivileged families in hopes of returning with long-term support. Moving to Ladysmith, South Africa, on May 26, Tzu Chi volunteers arrive at a daycare center in Blue Bank to distribute thick jackets to help children who need to wake up early for school cope through the cold winter. Also on May 11th, volunteers visited Getro, a fellow volunteer at a local hospital, and coincidentally found out that the hospital staff, Zendile, was once a Tzu Chi scholarship student.
Here at this daycare in Blue Bank, Ladysmith, you hear the coughing and sniffing sounds of children. Tzu Chi volunteers quickly dress them in thick jackets to warm them up.
Okay. Good. We are very, 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 very good. Very, 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 very good.
In the winter months of Ladysmith, South Africa, the daytime temperatures are only as high as 5 degrees Celsius. The new winter jackets have hoods on them, ensuring that the children are warm from head to toe. A Tzu Chi scholarship recipient, Zandil, gives a big hug to her mother and Tzu Chi volunteers. Here at work, she introduces her co-workers and shares with everyone her mother's cookies.
Give you a big smile.
Zandil grew up in a poverty-stricken Blue Bank community. She has Tzu Chi to thank for her steady job at Ladysmith Provincial Hospital.
And I'm happy and I'm more than used to it because of the foundation that's supporting me with financially.
Knowing that Tzu Chi volunteers are visiting fellow hospitalized volunteer Getro, Zandil joins everyone in praying for her for a speedy recovery. Zandil now has the ability to give back to her own people. Seeing this is the greatest reward for Tzu Chi volunteers.
Earlier this year, Tzu Chi volunteers from all around the United States came together for a book drive to give needy students a chance to enhance their knowledge. And in May, these books arrived in South Africa. In our next report, we joined teachers and students at Ladysmith Egerton Primary School as they welcome these containers of books.
The container that is filled with books arrives at the school grounds. Not only are the older students hard at work, but a teacher's husband, who operates the forklift, and the truck driver are all helping out. They know that inside it contains not only books, but also love from the United States.
Many people don't have a chance to read these books. When we donate books to Africa, we can share our childhood memories and happiness with them. They will feel that we care and love them.
My name is Melissa Berger, and I've been living in Ladysmith all my life. I am 13, and I love the books that you guys give, so thank you.
Every 2 years since 2004, Tzu Chi USA donates books to the children of South Africa. Egerton Primary School received their first container of books 3 years ago. For some students, this is the first time they are reading books that are not textbooks.
My favorite author is Roald Dahl. My favorite author is Ted Derry. Horrible Histories.
Thank you, and thank you again, because these children have got nothing. And they really, sometimes these are the first books that they're actually picking up and handling themselves. And they just, you want to see their eyes, they're just this big.
The carton not only holds books, but handwritten notes of well wishes. What the children receive from this is not only knowledge, but also the ability to see how powerful sharing can be.
At the New Jersey Jingsi Hall in the United States, volunteers recently held an education seminar that was attended by 178 people, including teachers from Tzu Chi academies across the country. During the seminar, teachers and volunteers shared with one another their teaching experience.
Carrying the heavy watermelon in front of his chest, a teacher from Tzu Chi Academy is trying to experience the hardship his mother went through during pregnancy. Another volunteer puts an egg between her waist to experience how attentive mothers have to be when carrying a baby. Today, teachers from Tzu Chi academies across the country are sharing their teaching experiences with each other.
The biggest difference is that our teachers care for their students like their own children. They also have the heart of a Buddha. We love our students and teach them everything, but we don't spoil them.
Through a skit, the volunteers demonstrate the negative impact that anger has on a person.
He doesn't think it's a big deal when he carries the big bag of rocks. However, as his bad temper gets worse, more rocks are put into his bag. The bag eventually becomes too heavy for him to carry.
Is this person eating too loudly? Table manners is also a part of Tzu Chi's humanistic teaching.
Every time we use a flower or a leaf, we have to be grateful. We need to respect the Buddha and the Dharma.
During the process of flower arrangement, I feel a sense of Zen and have come to understand the true meaning behind flower arrangement.
The sign language performances by volunteers not only express Tzu Chi's humanistic values, but also the importance of love, respect, and gratitude.
To make sure students have a meaningful summer vacation, the Mahabodhi School in Singapore held a 2-day humanitarian education camp and invited Tzu Chi volunteers to take part. Volunteers teach the students the importance of filial piety through various activities, and all hope that these youngsters will incorporate the values they learned into their daily lives.
Now I am going to give all of you a balloon. Please tuck them under your t-shirts.
Following the instruction given by a volunteer, 5th graders from Mahabodhi School participate in various activities with a balloon tucked under their shirts.
It is really tiring because I can't bend down to tie my shoelaces.
帮忙扫地5毛钱。
My parents work really hard to support our family. I told my mother that I was very grateful. I felt very happy after that because I finally expressed my love for her.
For the past 2 years, students and teachers from Mahabodhi School often pay visits to the Hualien Tzu Chi Elementary School in Taiwan. Seeing the humanistic values students gain from Tzu Chi's education, teachers from Mahabodhi School hope to work with Tzu Chi in the future.
We really like Tzu Chi's humanistic values and hope through this camp the students not only get to practice Chinese, but also develop positive moral values.
Looking at a video that depicts many needy children living without lights, fans, tables, and chairs on the other side of the world, the students realize just how lucky they are.
I am very blessed because I have a mother who cooks delicious meals for me. Some of the children in other countries don't have money to buy food, so we can't be wasteful. We also need to protect our planet because we only have one.
Although the 2-day camp has ended, the students say that they have learned to be grateful towards their parent and in the future will cherish everything around them.
Next, we go to Malaysia as 60 instructors and students from the Buddhist Institute in Penang visited the local Tzu Chi establishment for the first time. It was a visit that taught them how they can put Buddhism to practice in their daily lives.
At the Tzu Chi Dialysis Center in Penang, visitors from Malaysia's Buddhist Institute are here to listen to the patients' stories. Every year, the school holds an outdoor class. And for the first time, 60 Dharma masters and students from the school are visiting a Tzu Chi establishment. Through the volunteers' introduction, nurses' explanation, and a short video, the visitors learn how Tzu Chi helps safeguard both the mind and body of Penang's dialysis patients.
The Buddhist Institute trains sanghas or lay people. Since that is our goal and we all know how accomplished Tzu Chi is, we thought our students should come and learn how it is done.
To see the suffering of other people, I realized that life is truly fragile. So while we still have breath left, we need to cherish every minute and every second to learn and do.
Later, the group visits the local Tzu Chi chapter, Jinsi Hall, and Jinsi Books and Cafe. Sister Ye Tzu also personally explained how the Buddhist charity first began in Taiwan. The visit helped MBI's instructors and students understand how they can put Buddhism into action.
30 years ago, Lesin leprosy home resident Jing Yizhen was moved to follow Master Zheng Yan's footsteps and started saving money for charity. He also rallied his fellow VOC patients to donate money to Tzu Chi. The frugal man even went as far as donating his own retirement fund to build schools and hospitals. Recently, the senior's health slowly deteriorated and he could no longer eat. Refusing treatment, Mr. Jing passed away peacefully on June 26 at 3:55 a.m.
Before Dragon Boat Festival, Taipei Tzu Chi Hospital staff pays a special visit to Jing Yizhen at Leshen Leprosy Home. Although the senior was not feeling well, he was still spirited enough to take a picture, never realizing that this would be his last group photo. On the morning of June 26 at 3:55, Mr. Jing passed away while sleeping. He was 93.
We have been chanting the sutra for a week because he was not feeling well, so we prayed along with him too. Around 11 o'clock, he told us it was getting late and we should go home to sleep, but he continues to chant the sutra on his own.
During his last days, Mr. Jing was unable to eat. His organs slowly failed. Knowing that his days are numbered, the senior refused any more treatment. All the other residents at the home and Tzu Chi volunteers could do was just pray with him every night.
We are all happy to see him one last time, and we hope that he will return to this world and walk on the Tzu Chi path in his next life.
A lifetime of sickness has finally come to a peaceful end for Mr. Jing, leaving behind fellow patients his strong-willed spirit and taking with him everyone's blessings to return once again on the Tzu Chi path.
The life of Taiwan's leprosy patient Jing Yizhen has been made into a Da'ai drama series. The army major from China developed the disease 2 years after KMT retreated to Taiwan. Sent to live in an isolated existence from the world at the Lesin leprosy home, Mr. Jing once believed he was living in hell and was handed the worst punishment dealt by heaven. However, Master Zheng Yan changed all that and taught him to love again. Though the senior recently passed away, he has already touched many people's lives by donating to Tzu Chi.
每个人的人生实际都是业缘，在不够分配角色的时候呢，不见得每个人分配到武则天、杨贵妃、马蜂病呢，是人生中的一个角色。问题的关键不是我扮演了什么角色。 今天我分配的马蜂病，我拿这个角色演得好吗？这是我的一个对自己的要求。
Nearing the end of his life, leprosy patient Jing Yizhen learned to look beyond his illness and summarized his life's philosophy with several simple sentences. In 1949, Mr. Jing retreated to Taiwan from China with the KMT. He was then an army major. However, by 1951, when he was 30 years old, Mr. Jing was sent to the Leshen leprosy home for contracting the disease. His world was never the same since.
There was this magazine which said, leprosy asylums where leprosy patients live is a living hell. For those people are not people. They suffer the worst punishment dealt by heaven, which is deformed face and limbs, and that's why they don't appear human.
At the time, leprosy patients were quarantined. It was life imprisonment for both the patient's body and mind. It was not until 1978 when Master Zhen Yan visited the home that Mr. Jing's heart started living again.
Master Zhen Yan told us that from then on, she would give us 25,000 NT dollars every month to supplement our funding, which supported the 21 patients that were present. 2 years later, inside a Tzu Chi magazine, we read about Tzu Chi members making donations to the foundation. Each person donated like 10 NT, or 20 NT, or 50 NT at the most. We were really shocked, because we thought the charity's funds came from a gold mine. We never thought about where the money came from.
The home was taken under Tzu Chi's wing. By the end of 1982, the residents asked for Tzu Chi to stop providing aid. And by next year, the home began holding auctions to support Tzu Chi's mission. Mr. Jing led his fellow Buddhist patients in making the donations, unafraid to donate his years of savings.
After Tzu Chi took lesson under its wing, our hearts began to change. Originally, we were waiting for others to lend a hand, but because of Tzu Chi, we learned about pulling our little strength into a potent force. We learned to open up our pocket and give. That's what Tzu Chi taught us.
虽然他身体有病的障碍，可是他的心灵啊，毫无病，都是健康的。乐生院啊，有多少人因为他的道理开导，所以呢，许许多的人跟着他佛法修养。
Thanks to Tzu Chi, Mr. Jing learned to forgive the prejudice he had to live with and found the courage in his heart to share his love. Once, Mr. Jing believed he was truly living in hell, but through giving to charity, he discovered that Buddha lives within his heart, which is now in the Pure Land.
At the end of today's program, we go to Hong Kong as students from 4 different branches of a local kindergarten visit Tzu Chi's recycling station in Tai Wai. The youngsters not only learn about the different categories of recyclables, but also other ways to safeguard our planet. That's all the time we have for. Enjoy your weekend. Goodbye.